Stumbled across her son's dog tags. On Wednesday, in a bittersweet ceremony, they presented the tags to Mrs. Decker. Ruth Decker is in Windermere, Florida, along with Jim Gain and Rob Stiff. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Jim, I'll begin with you. I understand you were in Vietnam on a business trip. How did you come across these tags?
Well, initially we were in Vietnam in January. And at that time, we were just going through the markets looking for some items to buy for my family and, and other individuals that wanted some souvenirs. And on our way out, we were presented from a vendor with some of the dog tags. And at that particular time, we weren't prepared for it. He surprised us with the fact that there are even such things still, in Vietnam. So we were not ready to accept it, and we felt very queasy about it and very funny.
I have to ask you this, Jim. Jim, let me ask you, at the time, were you convinced that these really belonged to Vietnam vets, or were you a bit skeptical?
Well, actually, our first question to this particular vendor was, are these real? And actually, his answer was, yes, they are. And we took a quick glance at them, and honestly, they looked very real to us.
Rob, how have you been going through the process of identification with these tags?
Well, actually, the first thing to do was seal them up in plastic, staple them to a cue card or an index card, and we would decipher what we could see off the card. Then we entered it into a database, and we've been going one by one, which is a very tedious process, entering into all the different databases, the names and the service numbers to see what we can come up with.
Ruth Decker, let me ask you a question. How did you feel when you got your son's dog tags back?
Well, I was just really thrilled. I just couldn't even imagine this.
Tell us about your son. What was he like? What do you want us to know about him?
Well, first of all, my son was just an ordinary, wonderful young man. And he had lots of friends. He was athletic. He was in wrestling in high school, and he loved to swim, and he loved to water ski, and he's just a real typical nice young man, I thought.
I understand you received a phone call on June 21st that a dog tag had been discovered. When you got that call, what was your reaction?
I was just really surprised, so surprised I can't tell you, and thrilled. And after I talked with Rob, I thought, I'm going to look and see what my husband's dog tags look like. So I went into his little treasure chest in his drawer, and because I had never seen Alan's dog tag, so I looked into this little treasure chest, and there was my husband's, two of them, and one of Alan's, and so I was just so excited, and I couldn't wait to talk to Rob again and tell him that I had found it.
Jim, what was it like for you?
Well, the phone call to Mrs. Decker was unbelievable. We didn't know what to expect, and Rob, myself, and my partner, Tom Murray, we sat there just thinking, oh my goodness, this is what we had planned, this is what we thought, it would eventually come to. And to actually have someone's name and phone number was just overwhelming to us, and we were just like children trying to figure out what we should do and how we should do it. So we're just very excited.
Yeah, Rob, I understand you also went to the Vietnam Memorial and tried to match some of the names on the list. What did you come up with?
Actually, we came up with several names. We actually posted those on our website at founddogtags.com. We have approximately 12 names. I believe 6 or 7 of them are posted now. And we matched not only the name, but also the service number. And we're now in the process of locating those families to return those tags.
Mrs. Decker, let me ask you again. Yesterday, if I can say this, you are 76 years young. Yesterday was your birthday.
Yeah.
Had to be a wonderful birthday. Tell me about yesterday, the entire day. How did it feel?
It was just a beautiful, beautiful day. And I just can't thank the Lord enough for what he's done for me, and I think he's the one that I give all the honor and glory to, and I'm just so thankful that he brought these 2 young men into my life. And I have to tell you about 2 other young men, if I may, and they were the 2 young men that were with my husband, with my son, when he died in Vietnam, and they had made this agreement together that they would call the parents of whoever if he lost his life, and and get in touch, and I received a letter, and I have
Oh,
these
that's wonderful.
letters right here.
Mrs. Decker,
And-
thank
and
you. We could talk
you're-
about this all day. Listen, I appreciate
You're
you coming
right.
in today, and we'll talk
Thank
about
you.
that next time. Ruth
Thank you,
Decker,
thank you.
Jim Gain, and Rob Stiff, thank you very much. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank
So it's
you.
our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.